Hello and welcome to World Tanks with me, Jet the Ripper, and this is take 2 because I got 7 minutes into this video and then realised I wasn't recording because I'm a pleb. I'm borrowing that word since you may have it back whenever. Usually when you're driving off cliffs. Now, as a light tank I'm going to take the King Nor style role here. A lot of the important things on this map is about spotting. If you draw a line from around C1 to about E0, I'd say that sort of side is sort of like a big corridor. Not really too many different angles, but it's basically a big corridor, and they tend not to get involved with this side of the map. On the other hand, the rest of that, on the other side of that line, they all fight each other, they all have lines of fire in some way towards some spot anywhere on the map. So I've tried to get some spots in. There's no one pushed to advance, which means my team can push up. Whether they will or not is a different matter. Now here, I'm going to have a situation. I can fire at one of two people. I can fire at the Batchat, I can fire at the T-54 Lightweight. A Batchat with silent driving, or silent running, or whatever it's called. I think it's silent driving. And all the camo perks will be far stealthier than a T-54 Lightweight without those things. Well, obviously not silent driving because it doesn't affect a T-54 Lightweight. And he has a clip, and he can do a lot of damage to high tier tanks. So he is someone who I need out the game. He is a higher priority for me than the 54 Lightweight. So that is why you want to fire at him. Now, as you play the game, these are the sort of things that you'll get more used to. Trying to make those decisions as often as you can is something that you'll find quite useful. That's quite an unlucky shot. Because you'll find the more and more you do that, the more and more useful it becomes. Game does not have any server problems, as you can see. You know, even though I fired that while I was pointing at a rock. Here I take a blind shot. I assume he's going to try and run back. He doesn't. He actually comes forward again. So I'm going to keep choosing to prioritize him because he is dangerous as far as I'm concerned. I don't know how I didn't get spotted there. But I do need to watch my butt because, as you see, there's some tanks coming. Now here again, so I'm shooting at the 100 LT. This is going to miss because, you know, server aim. Because I paused that actually as I heard the sound of the gunshot. And yet on the screen you can see my gun hasn't fired yet. Because again, the game has no server problems. But yeah. 100 LT is more dangerous to me than a Batchat because a Batchat, it's inaccurate on the move. As much as it can do all these things, it's not great. 100 LT is very annoying on the move. It's very stealthy. If he's got the right crew setup, it's very fast. It's very hard to hit. It's very hard to kill. That is someone who needs to get hurt. Unfortunately, I miss anyway. So I'm going to go back this way. I'm going to start looking this way. Now, these guys start pulling back at the right moment for me. So you'll see these guys are starting to fall back. So I have no one in front of me with lines of fire. I also know that there's no one else not spotted who has lines of fire because I'm not getting detected or whatever targeted the thing comes up at the bottom left now. I think I still stayed detected because of the old system. Because behind me right now, they're starting to push up. They're finally arriving. And our team haven't taken the time to push past this point where I am. They've had plenty of time, but they've chosen not to do it. So I need to be aware that they can shoot my backside. So I'm going to start watching here. And you'll see I'm kind of going, ooh, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Well, I don't have shots on him. What do I have shots on? So I think I'll take a shot at the 257 in a second. And it's going to bounce because it's a 257. And why not? But you see, I keep checking this way. Is anyone firing at me? And I keep pushing forward and back, just waiting for that, you know, detector to come up. Now here I spot the Batchat is going in on someone. Now it's a shame I didn't get the shot in earlier because he would have died. He'd be already dead now. But you'll see I'm going to focus the Batchat. I think he's going to swing out, but he's not. He is going for the full circle of that guy. He does get him, but I get him back. So that is a tank gone, and a very dangerous tank gone at that. Now, if you look at the map here, you'll see on the far side in E8, we have one heavy tank and a medium tank and a light tank, and they're facing against two heavies and a medium. So there is an overmatch for the blues on that side over there. The enemy has the advantage there. Now we have the advantage here, so we need to make this side win. But we need to make this side win before the other side wins, and unfortunately that's not going to happen. So that puts us in an awkward situation, but it does allow for good tactical decision making later on. So let's continue with this. So here, I'm in a situation where I can't be shot from behind. Or I'm not likely to be shot from behind. That was arguably quite lucky. I aimed at the right place. You'll see I'm aiming under the side skirts and above the tracks. If you hit the tracks, they can get eaten. If you hit the drive wheels, the shell can get eaten. If you hit the side armor, the shells can get eaten. Where I aimed, perfect place to aim. I put a few more shots into this guy in a bit. Not great shots. So I'm just going to play this spot right now. I'm going to play like a medium. And this is what light tanks really have over most tanks. You see, I've loaded a heat round, which was meant for the IS-7, but I'm going to take a 140 over an IS-7 because he's far more dangerous to me. And that is the thing you've got to think of right now is, what is the most dangerous tank to me? What is the most dangerous tank? Actually, full stop. But specifically to me, that is the main thing that you're trying to do, because you need to up your performance. Upping the team's performance is never going to be that useful, because how? You can't make the other person shoot better. What you can do is kill people, but then, okay, are you going to take a load of damage doing it? Right. Well, would you have done more damage if you didn't do that? Right. Would that have given you a better chance to win the game? Okay, right. Now, these are the things to think about. Now, that doesn't necessarily... I don't agree with that necessitates... There's the English word that I eventually remembered. The things like sitting at the back and chase sniping. I still think you need to be more useful than that. But it's the same sort of thought process in terms of how do I win the game, but chase sniping, I'd say, is more about how do I farm W and 8. And so again, I am watching all around me. Where do people have shots on me? I was contemplating, can I get a shot on that guy's turret? Not really. I was like, right, he keeps backing away. I've got a shot on this guy. I've known a penned. That wasn't a great shot. He was pulling back and forth, and I needed to just hit in his side. I didn't. Now, I'm starting to... I'm not noticing right now, but there's a fight going on underneath me. And again, I do aim at the right place here. He's on 4 health. Shot goes low, because of course it does. Here I've noticed that there's a fight going on underneath me. And what I need to happen... So, 30B's dead. That's fine. Now, if this E50 stays where he was, or backs up, it's a perfect fighting position for me, because I can just jump off the hill a little bit, and that's all I need to do. Now, this is a bad shot. So, I go for the drive wheel here, and what I should have just gone straight for the lower plate. But if you watch, I will fire it somewhere where I'm just not going to pen. There. I basically shoot at the edge of his axle where the drive wheel is. I'm not going to do anything with that shell. It's just going to bounce. He's not angled enough for me to be able to shoot through the drive wheel and pen, like this shot. And like the next shot you'll see in 4 seconds, where I pen through his drive wheel to get the kill. So I'm actually mostly aiming to keep him tracked here, but I get the pen, I get the kill. That works perfectly well for me. Now, I'm going to be a little bit clueless here, really. I actually didn't realise about the push on the far side. Or, I should have paid more attention to it. You see, it's not on my screen and I'm not checking my map carefully enough. What I have noticed, though, is that I do have no one where that bat chat was before, and I can get side shots into an E4. Because at this point, I've now noticed on the map. So, I'm now in a dangerous position. Because to my left, I have an Object 140, and I have any of the other tanks on their team. You'll also notice we've gone from having more tanks than them to less tanks than them. Now, it's only 1 kill difference in it at the moment, so it's close. But we have now started to go into a deficit, and that's not a good thing. But we have a Super Conk on the right. We have the 140 on the left. We need to choose our fights carefully. And again, it's going to come down to narrowing the number of lines of fire on me. So, Super Conk it is. Now, first shot, lovely jubbly. Again, second low roll in a row. I've been getting a lot of low rolls. I get spotted by the medium pushing up underneath us. I get another pen. Again, low roll. Now, I've low rolled by, 340, so that's 50 and 30. So I've not low rolled enough that it would have meant a difference between a kill on this guy. So that's whatever. And I'm going to try a couple more times to get a kill on this guy. So here I think maybe I can go through the side of his turret. No. Okay, let's try a load of heat rounds, see if that'll do it. Because if this guy can be taken out, then that's very, very useful. But he's going to drop down. He's not going to give us much of a shot. And then there's a random E100 here. And again, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to find... Who should I shoot? Who do I need to prioritize? I actually didn't realize how good of a game, the fact that I'm already at 4k damage here. I didn't realize this was already going quite well. I'm probably mostly caught up in the decision-making processes. Now, in this game, I tend to get them all pretty well made. Now, I see an E4 coming in one way, so I need to apparently jump over a tank. I'm going to use the fact that I'm far more maneuverable than he is. Heavily aware that I don't want to be shot up in the back, and that's what the targeted is. If this guy keeps dropping back and I'm not being shot at, Super Conk doesn't fire at me. Unlucky not to get that shot in, but again, priorities. Super Conk, 1-hit kill, get him out of the game if I can. Now, E4's backed off. I'm going to take this opportunity to get in a position where I can't be shot at. I need to keep my health alive for, well, who knows what. Now, here, what I'm doing is I'm trying to see where is that E4. I'm waiting for someone to poke. And oh, okay, I'll take a side shot on a E100. And while I'm there, I can notice, oh, look, E4's been spotted. Oh, look, he's all the way around there. And I'm like, right, I have a chance to get behind this E4 right now. E4 has also just fired and killed the Batchat. So that is very, very useful. E4 does the smart thing and tries to get at least a bit round the corner. On the move, 4-2-8 and a fire. And then he's finished off by this guy. Now, I'm here waiting, trying to see which shots I've got. We're now outnumbered again, still, but it's only by 1 tank. We can do this. We're not that far behind. So I'm trying to get into a better position. Now, I was aware of artillery, so I did purposely drive closer to that rock. And I'm trying to drive a bit unpredictably, just in case any of them took any pot shots afterwards. But we need to get these people out. Now, auto-loading medium. That is my priority here. He is the far more dangerous tank, and I know for a fact he isn't aiming at me. So I'm going to take my time to take the shots. I see the 705A turn away. I know he's not aiming at me, so I can take my time with the shot. I make sure to maneuver to keep the E100 from shooting me in the butt. And here, I don't care if I take a hit. That guy needs to die. He's dead. That is a lovely little bit of getting someone out of the game. So now I know that E100 is behind me. So I need to be quite quick with this. And I'm like, okay, E100, 750 alpha, 705A, 650 alpha. I would rather take a hit from the 705A, and I need to get the 705A out. Now, he's firing a heat round, and so my tracks eat it. Now, I don't pen anyway, but he's dead. I've sat still far too long, and so what I'm doing here is I'm going to try and get away. I want to distance myself from the E100, and I want to be able to turn in any direction and him not know which way that direction is going to be. So I'm currently sat here, so I'm going to poke. Where is that guy? Where is he? There he is. I think I've got a bit of enough the turret fire. That realistically wasn't good enough angle, plus I was firing APCR. Now here, I need to get away from this guy, but he isn't a big threat. He's slow, he's lumbering. If he goes and gets in the cap, if he does kill our E100 and gets in the cap, I can easily outmaneuver him, blah, 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 blah. But I will get spotted when I do so, or there's a good chance I might get spotted. So I need to bother about the artillery. Now, I'm trying to stay unspotted here. Now, as you can see, I mean, on the stream, I think I'd already started talking about the fact that I need to go after the artillery. And people spamming like this are really not that useful. But you see, I've taken a purposeful path, try and keep as much cover between me and the E100 as possible. Because I want to get rid of him. I haven't even noticed that our E100 is on like full health at this point. So at the moment, I'm just trying to get away from that guy. I need to go and find the artillery, kill the artillery, and turn this into a much better fight, because E100, very easy target for artillery, and if I'm having to stay in relatively similar positions, artillery can get me easily too. And that was quite unexpected. I almost wonder... I still don't know where that shot went. Like, I think it hit the ground in front of me, but whatever. Now, this guy appears to be AFK, but I'm not going to stop for him. So, oops, apparently I just put an audio delay on. Oh well. Let's see if I can actually undo that quickly. I have actually got no idea how on earth I just did that, which is mildly amusing. Well, hopefully it's not noticeable if it's only 50 milliseconds. So, I'm aware that there's another artillery, and the other artillery probably started aiming this way the moment I got spotted. And so what I need to do is get rid of this artillery without having come to a stop. So I'm going to shoot this guy while on the move, and then I'm going to keep going. You see the shell comes in there, and wow, that actually is quite noticeable. I take my time here as long as I can, fire, and I do get a hit. I need to figure out how on earth I did that. But yeah, so I'm in a situation now where I'm getting behind him. But there's a good chance he's going to have turned around. Now, I've loaded HE round because he's on low enough. But as long as I hit, I will be okay. But this is a dangerous situation here. So ignore the fact that he's just been spotted, because I paused this slightly later than I intended to. The idea was I'm going to have to try and get past this guy. Now, he's going to be waiting to shotgun me. Now, am I going to go left? Am I going to go right? It's all going to be quite difficult. But instead, he decides to make it easy for me. He comes over, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be a bit more difficult. Oh, wait, no, maybe not. He decides to come over the hill at me and make this as easy as it's going to be. Now, our E100 is asking for help. I tell him affirmative. I use the map. I point out that I'm on my way. Now, all I have to do is I need to go and find where that E100 is. I think I'm going to find him about the same time as the other E100 does. So, at the moment, I'm in a situation. I only have 6 shells. I can't remember exactly what health. I think it was about 1,400. So I know I have enough shells to kill him. But not if I miss too many or bounce too many. So it means I need to get involved in this fight. So yeah, I'm trying to tell... Because I want to know where this guy is. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to get the other E100 to go out, push and spot this guy. Because once I know where this guy is, I can plan my angle of attack on him. There you go. He's on 1200 health. I definitely have the shells. Well, actually, if I miss 2, I could low roll and not kill him. So, not necessarily. But I have health, and this is one of the things. By managing my health in the way I did the whole game, I have managed to be in a situation where I have more than enough health. Now here I probably should have rushed the shot, but I try and aim, because ironically I get caught up in my own mindset again there. I'm like, well, I need to make these shots count, so I better aim. Oh crap, the opportunity for the shot is missing. Now, what I'm going to do here is, I don't know if you noticed, but our E100 was moving forward. As soon as this guy was spotted, he started moving forward. So I know this guy is moving forward. He's going to get involved in this fight, and I'm very glad for that, because that changes how this has to work. Otherwise, I need to juke him or I need to take a hit, and I don't have a fire extinguisher, so that could be very, very dangerous for me. But he's going to get involved. So this E100, so he's looking at me. Right, okay, I need to spot him up. That's it. Keep looking at me, buddy. I want him to look at me. I want him to not notice that guy. And I was going to go all the way round, but it's a long distance round. You see, I'm waiting just... I didn't want to hit too bad of an angle. And I won't lie, I am a bit greedy here, but that's purely because I wanted to get the top gun. And that is quite a lucky shot, considering where it penned. But that is 6 kills, 30 pens. Well, some of them were a fire. 7,790 damage in a tier 10 light. I am quite happy with this game. I think this game went very, very... You can see... I'm only a couple 100k further into that tusk grind. Oh, accidentally started from the beginning. Let's just pause as this comes up. At least this way, if I mess up doing this, if I mess up doing a normal video, I have to do a complete restart. I don't have to do it with this. Yay. So I got a Pascucci for Top Gun, and a Confederate. Of course, Ace Tanker. I say of course, you never know with these. So there you go, 23 penetrations, so that means 7 of the ribbons were burned. I think in that game there was a lot of tactical decisions that had to be made. I had to weigh up a lot of risks. And that's one of the things I think me and Turkey keep referencing on each other in conversations we've had on each other's videos. So it's probably quite confusing. But part of our conversation to do with whole instinctive versus like overthinking sort of aspect, which is my sort of style. I don't do this game better than anyone else. I don't react quicker than anyone else. I don't have a better shot than anyone else. I don't have better RNG than anyone else, regardless of some of the jokes to do with RNGesus. But what I have done that is probably better than most, even if I dare say that, is I've put a lot more thought and kind of arguably time, which not everyone has, into preparing to be able to play at a higher level on this game, because that's what I want to do. That's why I've recently got into the comp scene again, because I started to lose interest in this game because I didn't really have things to work for. I didn't have reasons to do anything. Now the press account gave me new reasons because I could just go and have fun. I had all the tanks, had great crews, don't need to do anything, just have fun. Oh no, I'm running out of silver because I've been messing around firing nothing but Prem HE out of tusks. Oh no. Well, Wargaming, please put some more silver on. Yeah, no worries. It's a press account. It's not yours. So we treat it really well. Oh, fantastic. That's great. But the comp scene has given me new reasons to start paying attention. You know, it's why I've ground out a bat chat recently. I'm grinding out the Super Conk at the moment. I've ground out 6 or 7 tier 10s this year already, compared to probably about 6 or 7 in the past 4 years. So, you know, I'm playing the game a lot more than I used to be, and that's quite enjoyable for me as well. And it's been worth for me to put all that time and effort in early on to get to these points. But for other people, not everyone has the time or the ability to be able to just sit back and just binge read all this sort of stuff. You know, I read forums, I read mechanics articles, I watched interviews, I watched anything I could to find anything that gives me an edge, anything that helps. I love tactical games, that probably has a little bit of benefit there. But this is everything. This is something that everyone will pick up. It's just to what extent, or everyone can pick up. Actually, everyone can is the best way of wording it, because not everyone will. Um, ran into someone the other day. I made a lighthearted joke because I messed up, and they decided, no, it's because I'm a terrible player and they're really, really good. That's the reason why what happened. I was just like, you're joking, right? I mean, it was physics. Some of the situation was I was driving after someone who I had dead to rights because they were on a long reload. I can't remember what tank it was. And they're one-shot kill for me, nice and easy. And I hit a bit. I'm on full health. I can't decipher like a Death Star or a 4005 or an RE, something like this. And I hit a small, like little bit of rock in in the T49 with the derp, and my tank rolls and then just literally comes to a stop against a rock next to them. And so they just turn around, reload, smash me and kill me for what's left of my health. And then I'm just like, oh my god, physics, oh, what a laugh. Ah. And then just like, no, you're a noob, you're terrible. I'm just like, oh, calm down. And then I went and looked at this person's stats. I was just like, that's a really odd reaction. Because I've had similar events. I'm playing really stupidly in the 49 at the moment. And I was just, wow, this seems like a really odd reaction. And it turns out they've got like 50,000 battles. They're averaging like 2 shots of damage a game in most of their tanks. It's like, that person is someone who is not... Unless you have them in person, I don't think you're ever going to be able to help someone like that. And I think that's one of the differences between what you can hear from me on this YouTube channel now compared to when I first started, is I think I was too optimistic when I first started. When I first started, I saw, thanks to Jingles, I suddenly saw several thousand people go, oh yeah, I'm here to learn. And I'm like, oh wow, there's so many people who want to learn. Let's try and get to everyone. That's why I did all the things to do at Unacademy. It's why I've done loads of different things with trying to help people learn stuff. But I think this comes to a point where you start to realize when you actually then go back and go, oh, but the thing is, that was 2,000-3,000 people asking, yay, I want to learn. But there was like 80,000 people who saw the thing, who saw his post or whatever, and 12, 18,000, something like that saw the video. So, okay, that's actually quite a small percentage. So, yeah, but okay, at least they came. Okay, but then what's that of the player base? Oh, wow. And then you start realizing, okay, not everyone is here to learn. That's fine, though. But what we can do, though, is we can make those who do have as useful information as they can. And I hope that's what I'm providing. And as usual, I've rambled like hell. Because it wouldn't be one of my videos if it wasn't. I think for those who've lasted this long, bravo. Have a cookie. Have many cookies. Have all the cookies. That's how many cookies you get. I would love to hear, who would you like to hear on a Ripper Rambles? Because one of the things I've said, and I really like this idea, and I've always wanted to do something like this, and basically it would start being like a talk show, I guess, the World of Tanks talk show or something, and I guess it would just stay under the Ripper Rambles branch. And basically what I'll do is, say on a Saturday or a Sunday or a Friday or whatever day, probably a weekend, I will stream, I'll stream it, and basically it will be me and a group of us just sat and talking. And the idea is chat can interact with us that way. They can ask us extra questions. They can pick up on stuff that we've gone, oh, no. Where we've gone, oh, yeah, I think this is the case. And someone in chat can go, no, there's this. And I'll be like, oh, okay, shove us a link or something, and we can discuss this. And then for those who weren't able to be there, weren't able to interact, I can then upload it either the next day or the week after, some sort of timing like that. And I think a system like that would be really great. So I'd love to know, who would you like to be on the shows? Obviously, I can have people like Turkey Sins, getting Deco Noir from Rita's set, although last time I had him on, I got complained, and Wargaming North America asked Wargaming EU to kick me from the CC program. So, nice controversial one there. Maybe if I'm lucky, even get someone like Rita Gamer to come on, get some of the PC people to come in, see what they think about some of the console stuff. That sort of thing. But who would you like, big or small, and I'll see what I can do, basically. So, thank you very much for watching. And at this point, mostly listening because the screen's not moved in a very long time. Thank you for this. Very glad to be back. Hope the future holds many great things. I've been Jack the Ripper, and as always, I shall see you on the battlefield.